Hi, it's Mike. Today I want to talk about 5 things that I hate about the Phoenix area and 5 things that I love. Right now, it's pretty hard to talk about the 5 things I hate, at least number one on my list, because it's a beautiful, perfect day today in Scottsdale. And I'm sitting in my office right now looking out the window, and it's blue skies, about 69 degrees, beautiful sunshine, and it just feels perfect. So I guess it's a little harder to make this video right now, being that summer's coming, but ultimately in the summer, the months of August, September, and October are pretty miserable and start to wear on you a bit. Right around the time monsoon season starts, which is our rainy season around August, you get humidity on top of high heat, and it just gets to the point where your body just gets tired of it after a while. You actually pray for rainy days and get so excited when we get rain. I can't think of any time I would want to golf in the rain, except for the middle of the summer at the peak of the heat season, because you get out there and it actually cools everything down and you get a little relief for a day or two. So the number one thing that I hate about living in the Phoenix area is the weather. And basically, again, that's the summer, the August, September, October. And at those times, that's when I need to take a break, get out of the valley, go up to Flagstaff or somewhere cooler, over to California to visit some friends, or take a trip somewhere just to get out of the heat for a couple days. I have my pool in my backyard, which is great, but sometimes it's just not enough, and even my pool water gets really warm. So that's number one on my list. Number two on my list, and I hear about this more and more every day with my clients, is the cost of living has gone up. Basically, the homes have gone up substantially, and right now, of course, we're in a period of high inflation, so every time we go to the grocery store, we get reminded about how much things have gone up. Is the relief on the way for that? I don't know. In general, in the area, housing prices are the number one thing. Utilities have gone up slightly over the past couple of years, but nothing substantial. The hotter it is in the summer, of course, the more we use our air conditioning. And when you have a swimming pool, your electric bill is going to be higher because your pool has to cycle every day. I also have a hot tub that runs off electric, so my hot tub has to cycle every day. So basically what I do is I pay more, I take my annual bill, I divide it by 12, and I basically pay in that much every month, and I build up a credit in the winter that I can utilize in the summer to absorb some of the extra cost of the air conditioning. Next is getting around. Getting around in the Phoenix market, it's a very spread out area. There's benefits to that, but the public transportation is not going to get you everywhere that you need to go. If you're relying on public transportation, this may not be the city for you. When it's hot in the summer, you certainly don't want to be sitting outside waiting for transportation. Overall, there's so many things to do in a short distance from just about anywhere. You can get around and probably have friends and family with cars, but overall you really do need a car in the valley to get around because everything is spread out, and it's just easier to get around if you have a car. Next thing is poor air quality. Especially in the summer when things are getting really heated up. We have the Valley of the Sun. It's in a fishbowl basically, and it collects a lot of pollution. So for people that have breathing problems and asthma and other things, they really need to look into that before they move here. If it bothers them, there's a lot of areas where you can live where it won't be such a big deal. The air quality will be much higher, but we get a lot of, smog and stuff coming in from over in California, and what we build up around here, and then with all the heat pockets that we build up in the summer, it can reach higher levels than many people want. So that's another reason that people don't love living in the Phoenix area. again, depending on your health issues, you may want to look into that. And number 5 on my list is the jobs. You know, things have gone way up in price. Wages have definitely gone up, but there aren't as many high-paying jobs in the Phoenix metro area as there are in other cities and states. You know, you can get a good job and have a good life here, but if you want variety in your job and you need to get into something else, you may have a harder time with less jobs to choose from in the higher-paying career fields. So if you can't work remote and you have to get a job where you have to go in every day, you know, the wages haven't gone up all that much. So more high-paying jobs are few and far between compared with some other cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, Seattle, and some of the other areas where people are actually moving here from, but they're able to keep their job and work remote. So they're making the higher incomes, but they're able to live in a less expensive place than where they're coming from for the most part. So let's talk now about the things that I love. Well, it's definitely got to be the weather. I'm from Chicago. I also lived in Atlanta, but coming to a place that's dry, has beautiful skies, the sun shines nearly every day, and there's just something about sunny skies that seem to make people happier. You know, you don't have to worry about going out and cleaning the snow off your car. You don't have to worry about your car freezing up. You just basically can go to the car wash once a week, keep your car really clean, and your car life is going to be longer. I mean, there's just so many benefits to this great weather. And even when it's hot, again, there's only a couple months of the year where it's really unbearable hot. The rest of the time, it's not bad. And you're not going to be searching for shade to put on your steering wheel so you don't burn your hand, because in the summer, that's one thing you got to be careful of, is your steering wheel getting hot. But overall here, I love the weather. I love the blue skies. I love seeing the contrast with the red sky at night and beautiful sunsets here. And overall, I just love the weather. I also love summer because in the summer, things slow down. We have less visitors here. It's easier to get into your restaurants. It's easier to get on the golf course, and a lot of activities are just much easier to accomplish. The next thing I love about living here is the plants and the landscaping. A lot of people think of the desert as just a dreary brown place to live, and people here put a lot of money into their landscaping, and we have these beautiful cactus and all these flowering plants that year round you have these beautiful blooms going on. I catch myself all the time driving down the road and seeing these beautiful flowering plants in the middle of the roadways and around the area, and I just smile because I almost want to get out and take a picture of it, because I just love looking at the different colors in the beautiful plants. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of our plants here have prickers on them, so if you're going to go hiking or you're going to go out in the wilderness areas or into the desert, be careful. And we do have those little critters called snakes that you want to avoid. Now, I've lived here for 15 years. I've only seen 2 rattlesnakes, and I've never, knock on wood, seen one in my yard. I mean, the further out areas where you have new construction, you're probably going to see them more than some of the more established areas in the city. The next thing, there's so much to do here. I mean, I just love the fact that, you know, we have a couple hundred golf courses here that we can go play golf. We have hiking trails and biking trails and walking trails galore. I mean, many of the master plan communities now that have been built over the last 10 or 15 years have these beautiful walking trails through them. You know, if you have a mountain bike or you like to be out and exercise, I love nothing better than seeing elders, you know, in their 70s and 80s walking around and enjoying the outdoors. You even see them riding their bikes. There's a lot of places where you can ride mountain bikes. You can go off-road. You can rent quads and other ATVs and go off into the desert. There's just so many things to do outdoors, and even shopping. We have some great outdoor shopping areas. Again, 3 months of the year, it's not as much fun to go shopping at these areas, but the rest of the year, it's just a great opportunity to get out of the house and go do something. The number 4 on my things that I love is the people. I just love the people here. There's so many friendly people here. I got to attribute it to the fact that the sun is out every day. It's just that got to have an effect on people. But it allows you to do so many more things, you know, just enjoy the scenery out driving around, talking to people, go to the grocery store, go shopping. I mean, in general, people are very nice here. And many people here are from somewhere else, and they're glad to be here. And when people are happy to be in a place and live in a place, their overall attitude is much better. So that's one thing I love here is great people. And last, I'm going to finish up with the things that I don't need living here that I just love. One of them is not having a snow shovel. I remember living in Chicago and growing up. In 1979, we had a winter storm. We couldn't find our basset hound, and the snow had drifted all the way up to our roof line, and our basset hound was up on the roof of our house. Had to get her down. It was fun jumping into the snow, but every time it snowed, having to shovel that driveway, forget about it. The next thing is I don't miss is a scraper for my windshield. In the winter, I used to leave my car running a lot of time to keep my windshield clean. I hated getting up first thing in the morning and going out to freezing cold weather and having to scrape off my windshield, wait for my car to heat up and run my defroster. So I don't miss not having a scraper in my car, that's for sure. Winter clothes and heavy boots. It's so nice not to have these winter things, you know, snowmobile suit, snowmobile boots, things to keep you really warm in the winter that take up a lot of closet space. Basically, all I ever need here is a light jacket, and if I'm a little cooler in the mornings in the winter when I'm golfing, I put on a couple layers, you know, wear a sweatshirt and a light jacket. But overall, the things I don't miss are snow shovels, scrapers, and winter clothes. So these are the 5 things that I love and hate about living in the Phoenix area. Leave me a comment about how you feel about these things and how you feel about living in Phoenix, if you're living here now, or tell us what you think about or questions you have on moving here. I'd always like to earn your business as your real estate agent if you're moving here. I've been doing it for a long time. I've bought and sold a lot of properties on my own, of my own investments. And the more transactions you do that way, the more you're learning about the market. So watch some of our other videos, and we thank you for watching.